Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got everybody's favorite little selfie drone, the DJI Neo, with me today. But we're not going to use it as a selfie drone today. I am at Heroes Park, and this is a big, wide open park. You guys have seen me fly here before, but I'm going to turn the camera around so you can kind of see it. It's a big park. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do with this drone is try and fly it some distance. Now, obviously, that's not what this drone was designed for, right? So really, it's a close-in drone, but this is a safe area to be able to fly it around and get it out some distance. It's about, from here, not quite 200 meters to each corner of the park. So we're going to take it out the corner. We're just going to fly around within the park here with the drone and just see how well it does. It's got an OcuSync 2 connection. Now, what controller am I going to use? I have my DJI RC2 from my Mini 4 Pro. So we're going to connect that to the Neo and fly it around. I want to mention one more thing. I don't know why you would even have to mention this, but I saw a channel the other day, and it was a big tech channel, and he got tons of views. I mean, I think the video that he was publishing with the Neo had like 400,000 views. I mean, it was a lot, right? But one of the things that he was advocating was flying with the gimbal cover on. Now, to me, that's just absurd, because this gimbal cover, it's going to really, not only is it dark, but it's got the corners on it, and it's going to give you some really distorted video. So maybe if you don't care about the video that you're recording, maybe, I suppose, but his contention was that it doesn't affect the camera. In other words, the camera can still move freely even with this on there. And that's true, but yeah, take your camera cover or gimbal cover off before you fly the Neo. And if you're that worried about protecting the camera, Start RC makes a nice little bumper that goes on the front of this drone to do that. Anyway, but besides that, this is a very robust little drone. Enough talking about that. I just thought it was funny, so it was worth talking about. Let me get the drone fired up, and I need to get connected to the controller. Then we'll take off, and we'll just fly around the park here. And then we'll look at what I just want to focus, and I've got several batteries charged, so we might have to switch batteries. But I want to see all the functions that this drone will do within the DJI Fly app when you're connected to the controller. So let's quit messing around, and let's get this little bird in the air. Okay, I've got the aircraft fired up, and we're waiting for it to connect to some satellites here. I'm wondering if it's taking its time connecting to satellites because I haven't fired it up with a controller for a while. I don't know. But also, you'll notice that I'm underneath the picnic shelter here. It's quite hot today. It's supposed to get up to 106 degrees today, and you saw on UAV forecast it was already 88, and it's climbing fast, and it is hot out in the sun, so that's why I'm underneath the picnic shelter. When we are flying the drone out over the park here, I will walk out there so that I'm out from under everything. But anyway, return to home altitude 35 meters, which is plenty for where we're at here. And max altitude 120 meters and max distance no limit. The drone is not asking for any calibrations. We can look at the battery. Battery looks good, so we're in pretty good shape. As soon as we get enough satellites here, we'll take off. So, and we will shoot video in 4K 30 frames per second. You can see that at the bottom there. It's taking its time getting satellites. I'm going to move the drone and the pad just a little bit out from under the shelter here and see if that helps. Okay, you're not going to be able to see it as well on the camera, but and that doesn't, well, maybe it's helping. We've got 6 satellites now. It is definitely taking its time getting satellites here, so I am not sure what that's about. You know, while it's doing that, I'm going to click on the little film strip icon and take a look. yeah, so it looks like we'll have quick shots and photos. And I don't know that I have ever taken a photo with this drone. So it's saying fly with caution. Oh, now there's 8 satellites. And I don't think the KP index was too bad. Yeah, there's 9. Look at that. Okay, we got them now. Okay, there we go. We got them now. So we're in good shape. 11 satellites, and it'll get more as we take off. And it says takeoff permitted. So let's start recording right now. And we're recording. Let's do an automated takeoff on the app. Hitting that takeoff button. Takeoff. And there's the little drone, and of course, and it updated its home point. So, but let's bring it in here to the camera, and you can see I'm a ways underneath the shelter here again because it's. I want to sit in the shade. It's going to be quite hot today, so. So bring it into the camera, and it's just such a steady little drone. We'll move it around here a little bit, but you can see it's only got a single axis on that gimbal, and then it relies on electronic image stabilization. So I'm going to drop the camera down here a little bit, and our first order of duty here is to do a droney, and let's go all the way out to the corner of the park. So reverse and up, and I am keeping a sharp eye on the on our connection and altitude. You know, it's not as powerful as other drones. We're about 25, a little over 25 meters high, and we're out there quite a ways. So, okay, that's enough of that droney. Let me turn around here so you can see. And by the way, speed-wise, I've got it in normal mode. And you can see how far over the park we are here. And we're going to fly out to this corner. And grab a little bit more altitude, picking up that camera just a little. And let's take a look at, and you know, speed-wise, we're going 4 meters per second in normal mode. And distance, we're at about 175, 180 meters. Let's go right out to the corner of the park here. Yeah, and that is almost exactly 200 meters. And you know what? We got great control signal. The drone is flying perfectly. Of course, it's an OcuSync 2 drone. So that's good. Let's go to the other end of the park here, the opposite corner. And I'm kind of in a good situation here because I can point the flat part of the antenna, the controller, directly at the drone. So this still works pretty good, even though I'm underneath I'm still sitting underneath the picnic shelter. So let's head to the other end, and again, normal mode, about 4 meters per second. So this is no speed demon. Let's throw it in sport mode, and let's see what see if it'll pitch over further. And it's definitely faster. Look at that. We're up to, and boy, is it eating up battery. We're up to 7 meters per second. So that is about 16, 17 miles an hour for a little drone like this. Isn't that something? That is pretty cool. Okie dokie. Let's give you a look at the, isn't this a beautiful day today? It's nice and sunny. Kind of giving you a look at the Boise front here. And we are 230 meters away from where I'm sitting. Again, I've got a good straight shot at the drone, so I'm able to point the flat part of the antennas at it. But of course, we're not seeing any issue with whatsoever with control signal. So, I mean, the FPV is perfect, the control signal is perfect, everything is working as it should. So yeah, let's just do kind of fly around the corner of the park here, and see what's going on. And this is the opposite corner, so it's still going to be almost well, 170 some meters away from where I'm sitting. This is a neat little park. This park, as you can tell, it's got a big parking lot, and it's primarily used for youth soccer, or football as you'd call it in Europe. But it you know, here it's just, that big parking lot is for parking a lot of cars. And boy, I've been here on some of those days and this place gets packed. But they also have the picnic shelter. There's a kids play area, and there's that pond that they stock with fish, and little basketball place right where that red car is parked on the left side. We've got some basketball hoops. And let me tell you, the drone is right over the top of me right now, and it is loud. It is making some noise. Let's just kind of do a full loop around here and just see how well this guy does. I think it's really cool that, I mean, it's flying. It's just flying. That just shows how versatile this little drone is. It is so versatile. You can do about anything with it. Okay, we're going to get to this corner here. And one thing that I have never done with this drone is taken a picture. And also, I guess, you know, I've flown some other drones recently, some Amazon drones, you know, that you can purchase on Amazon. I'm not going to name any names, and others that are available at Best Buy, etc., that had a single axis gimbal or just no gimbal at all, and they were all pretty shaky. Look at how stable this guy is. So it can be done. You know, if DJI can do it, I don't know why those other manufacturers can't. But anyway, let's stop recording, and we're going to switch into photo mode here. There we go, and we've got single shot and time shot. So you can't do HDR, in other words, shoot multiple shots overexposed and underexposed, etc., and put them together for an HDR shot. But in any case, let's go ahead and take a picture. And there is no there's no panorama shots or anything else either. But you know, this drone normally is $199 for the base kit. And in the US, by the way, you don't get a controller. So you'd already have to have a controller. And I think this works with the RCN2, the RCN3, and the DJI RC2, I believe, are the controllers. Check DJI's website to make sure, but I think those are the controllers that'll fly it. Obviously, the all-in-one controller like the RCN2 here, I think is the best because you got that screen on there, 600 nit screen. Okay, let's, I'm going to pick up the camera just slightly, and let's take a picture here. And I take a lot of the pictures pointed the same way so that you can compare them with other drones. But yeah, that did quite well. I think I'm feeling kind of brave here. I'm going to throw it back into video mode and start video. And let's come back here. And again, we're in sport mode. Let's see if I can do a manual orbit around the flagpole, which is another thing that I like to do when I'm here at the park. You know, what's interesting is I thought I was going to have to get out from underneath the picnic shelter to get good signal, but you know, we're not having any issues at all, so there's no point. You can see there's very little wind today, because look at the flag, it's just hanging there. And by the way, our flags are still at half staff. We had a tragedy, was it last week or the week before? And this may be because of the Texas floods as well, but we in northern Idaho had some firefighters that came under fire from an assassin, which is just a tragic, unbelievable story. But anyway, that's why the flag is at half staff. So I'm starting my orbit, and I'm in sport mode, and I'm able to do a perfect orbit, and that just says so much about DJI's flight controls. I mean, look at this. We're able to do just a perfect orbit around the flagpole here, keeping it in center of frame. moving the right stick to the right and the left stick to the left. See a couple of cars pulled up there. And we're able to get a nice orbit around here in sport mode. DJI they just do a phenomenal job. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so now we are getting down low on battery. So we'll get to see what this guy does in return to home. I'm going to see if I can force it into, we're in full reverse right now in sport mode, going across the park. Let's see if we can force it into low battery return to home, which I'm certain that we can, and see how accurate it finds its home point. Let's just kind of move sideways here now. In sport mode, burning up battery. And this has got a tiny little battery on it.
Battery level
yeah, so
low.
now it's telling us, and it's going to do a countdown.
To the home point in 10 seconds.
So I'm going to keep flying it until it says, nope, I'm coming home.
Return to home.
Yeah, and it says, no, I'm coming home. So, okay, I shut off my, my camera. I'm going to turn it back on now, my action camera. And I'm going to set it out here so that we can maybe see how close the drone gets to the landing pad. And what's cool about this, look at this, you have the augmented reality return to home green line. So you can see. So let's see, will it automatically drop the camera down? I think it does. Points the camera down.
Landing.
And it does. And look at that. So it actually, it's interesting watching it come down. And this drone does not have precision landing. And honestly, I'm not worried about if it exactly lands on the pad. And you can see the drone shadow. It's going to be right on the edge. And it's looking at us right now. Yeah, it's going to be right on the edge of the pavement and the grass, but there it is. Okay, let me switch batteries out, and we'll go into some more functions, and I'm going to see if I can do a hot swap. Almost forgot, remember to stop recording. That way you'll avoid a corrupted file. Okay, you might ask, what do I mean by hot swapping the battery? So the controller is still on and connected, and I'm going to shut the drone off. So the drone is almost off. Yep, now it's off. We're going to remove the battery, installing another battery. And then I'll fire the drone back up, and we'll see if it reconnects to the controller, and we'll go from there. So we are reconnected to the drone again. We're still doing our screen recording, so we're in good shape there. Let's go ahead and do another automated takeoff. And I'm not going to start recording yet because I want to do some of the quick shots. I couldn't think of the word. Okay, let me get out. I'm going to walk out into the field, into the heat, and we're going to do some quick shots. Okay, let's move out into the field. I restarted it, and even though the switch was in sport mode, it should have just been in normal. Once you fire it back up, it should revert to normal. I moved the switch back down to normal mode. We got to get out here far enough that we're dropping the camera down so you can see where I'm at here. Moving the drone sideways. There we are. Yeah, manual tracking. This is what this is. Picking the camera up a little bit. Okay, I think we're far enough out here that we can do our quick shots. In fact, let's bring it into me a little bit. And we're going to click on that film strip. And boy, it is hot. Quick shots. And tap, yeah, we already know all that. So yeah, let's just start with a droney. So clicking on that plus, maybe. And distance, it's given us the distances. So let's go ahead and crank it up to 10 meters max.
3,
And that's a pretty short quick shot. So it's moving out relatively slower than what you would see with a DJI mini drone or something, but it's executing it perfectly, and in true DJI fashion, it's returning. Yeah, so we're gonna do them all. We're gonna go through all the quick shots. That's me dropping the camera down again and clicking on the little droney icon. We're gonna go to rocket, and I'm gonna click on the plus sign again. Yep, and altitude, we're gonna crank that one up to 10 meters too. Click start. It's gonna count down,
1.
and it should keep me in center of frame as it goes up, and it does. I was testing another drone the other day that ostensibly had quick shots, and it would do a rocket or whatever, or a droney, but it wouldn't keep you in frame. So what's the point of doing that? And DJI just does such a great job at that. Okay, so the drone returned to its spot here. We're going to get through this pretty quick. Let's go to an orbit, a circle. Click plus, plus. And we can go clockwise or counterclockwise. We're going to go counterclockwise for this one. It'll only go one lap. I wish DJI would give you the
1.
option to do however many orbits you wanted to do. But let's see how well the drone keeps me in frame. And there it is. Coming back around. That sideways shot is never my favorite, but it is what it is. And the drone is almost back to its starting spot. And there we are. And that's over. Okay, so did a perfect orbit, circle, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to back it up just a little bit. Dropping the camera down again. And I'm going to go, next one is my favorite of all the quick shots, a helix. And it's just going to do this one clockwise. And I see it lifts the camera up, so anyway, it lifted the camera up when I selected myself. Anyway, let's click start.
3, 2, 1.
And off it goes. And a helix, I'm sure everybody knows what it is, but if you don't, it's a big corkscrew. The drone moves up and away from you as it orbits. I think it's a great shot. 50% done. You could do it manually, but it's not easy. And I just think it's a cool effect. And even this little Neo, again, what a versatile drone. All the selfie stuff that this drone does, but you also still have all these features when you use the controller. This is just, it's just a phenomenal little drone. Okay, so we got one more to do, and that is Boomerang. I always try and call a Boomerang a horseshoe or something else, but it's a Boomerang, and it's also a pretty cool shot. And this one's going to do it counterclockwise. We're going to click start.
3, 2,
And
1.
the drone will do a big oblong, and it'll raise in altitude at its apogee. And then it'll come back down and to its original height on the perigee. So, so there it is, that fast. Well, that is all of the quick shots. So let's go ahead and go back into video mode, and we're going to start video. I did a little clap there so I could synchronize audio. One of the secrets to being a YouTuber is being able to synchronize your audio. Like the old Hollywood clapper, that works quite well. Okay, we're gonna just fly this guy around a little bit. I'm gonna get back to my starting position here, back underneath the picnic shelter, because again, It is a pretty warm day today, and we'll bring the drone down lower as we bring it back and kind of show you how versatile it is with regard to just flying around. So, in other words, it's a drone that you can fly in tight spaces without much worry. Bringing it back to us now, I'm going to fire up my action camera here. Okay, I've got the action camera fired up, and let's bring this drone back. And there are, I need to be cognizant because there's some people doing laps around the park, etc. But that's all right. And again, in normal mode, top speed about 4 meters per second. So that's about 10 miles an hour. This drone is, you know, it's very comfortable flying it at low altitudes. But, you know, in these kind of situations, for one thing, it has the guarded props on it. And you can see some people around here, so I'm going to be extra careful. But yeah, let's just fly it right over my head. And oh, that breeze felt good. Holy cow! Yeah, and it's struggling with satellite positioning, so yeah, it's not liking this. Let's get it back out from under where it can get some satellites. Yeah, it gave me that warning about satellites, and it just got them back here. So yeah, so you're just when you're in a situation like that, you are completely dependent on the downward sensors. So let's see here if we can. If there, I see there's some people underneath these close trees right here. I was looking just for a space that we could fly it down and do some low altitude flying, and I was going to do it underneath the picnic shelter here, but obviously didn't want to risk the drone. I think it would have been fine, but it definitely was warning us about sensors, about GPS, excuse me, satellite positioning. So here's where the flagpole is. So again, you know, this drone, you can be very comfortable in situations like this. It's, in fact, here we can do, again, we're in normal mode. We can do just kind of an orbit around this guy, around the flagpole. And you can see there is very little wind. But that's one of the beauties of this drone is that ability. And I see somebody's stuff there, so we're going to be careful. Let's just go in between these trees. I definitely want to avoid folks, so we'll take it back out here, and let's just put it into another return to home situation. So go out to the opposite corner here, and you know, it sucks down battery pretty fast. We've been recording now for a little over 4 minutes, and then we did those quick shots. So that'll kind of give you an idea of what you can expect out of a battery. So I'm going to set the camera up here again to see the landing, and we'll see how well it does. Again, we're going to force it into, in fact, let's just throw it in sport mode. Let's kick it out there, and let's force it into low battery, return to home. There we go. I'm holding that stick full forward on the stick, and says, nope, I'm coming home.
Return to home.
So here it comes. And again, I think it's so cool on this little drone. You get that green line, that in augmented reality green line. And here it comes. We've got the camera set up there, so hopefully we'll see how close it gets to the pad. It's pretty accurate. 19% battery. I'm just going to let it go. Let's just see when it drops the camera down, looks down with the camera itself. What a neat little drone. And I was going to say earlier, a friend of mine posted, this is Amazon Prime days. This drone was on Amazon Prime for 169 bucks. $169 for a drone with this capability. And you know, we're just flying it with the controller. We haven't touched on, you can fly this thing with goggles and the FPV controller or with the motion controller. Yeah, it's gonna be well out in the grass there. We're just gonna let it land in the grass. It's good. And it's picking up the camera as it goes here. And I did the clap so I can synchronize audio. And it says there, I'm down in the grass and low battery. Okay, let me pick it up, get everything shut down, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Holy cow, was that fun. The little Neo, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but the versatility, this is the most versatile drone that DJI makes. You can fly it like I did with the RC2. So you have the all-in-one screen. You can fly it with the RCN3, the RCN2 controllers. That's where you have to use your phone for the FPV screen. You can fly it with the DJI FPV controller using the Goggles 3. You can fly it with the Motion Controller 3, again using the goggles. I haven't tried that yet. I need to try that. You can fly it without any controller at all. You can just use the button, and it has a number of QuickShots and follow me modes that is completely automated. That is really cool for getting, you're on vacation or something, you just want one quick little shot. It's a cool way to do it. You're out for a hike, you want to get a little droney, or you want to do a follow me shot. It works really well. You can also use your phone, and you can fly it with virtual controllers on your phone. I'm trying to remember, you don't get a lot of range. I'm trying to remember, I think it's like 60 meters or something like that. But again, if you're flying it with your phone, why would you want to fly any further than that anyway? But you can do it, and that's the point, is you can do it. So it's a very, very versatile little product. Again, it was on sale on Amazon Prime Days for $169. Regular price is $199. Now, that said, as we know, in the United States, we're having problems getting DJI products. Well, you just almost can't get them. And whatever's on Amazon, I'm sure, is probably a closeout right now. So if you're going to get one, you're in the United States, you should order it sooner rather than later, would be what I would say there. But in any case, fun little drone, and I'm going to tell you, do not fly it with the gimbal cover on. Take the gimbal cover off. I don't care what anybody says. In any case, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And most of all, I so appreciate that you took the time to watch this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one, the little DJI Neo.